Okay, misconceptions about dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaur misconception.
Okay. And this is a big, like, vulture bird.
No, there's
Looking thing.
Archaeopteryx.
Oh, Archaeopteryx. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we're testing out. We're going to do one real quick here, and we're testing out this setup real quick. Nothing fancy, just testing it out, seeing how audio and video goes. Today, the theme is misconceptions about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of those.
And you do mention here. So before we get into the misconceptions about dinosaurs, so what is a dinosaur? What makes something a dinosaur?
All right. So dinosaurs in general are part of the clade known as archosaurs. Now, clades are basically like groupings of creatures in science that don't fall into like the normal, like basically they're like not actual definitions, but they're like they all agree that this is a group, but it's not like a genus or a species or like
so it hasn't been as well defined enough yet.
Yes.
Okay, so it's kind of in the process of being defined, so to speak. Okay.
But so this group, this clade of archosaurs contains birds, dinosaurs, and crocodilians.
Hang on for
What?
I don't remember if I started the audio. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I'll edit this piece out. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Okay.
I'll edit that out. Okay.
Yeah. So, So the clade archosaurs contains dinosaurs, birds, and crocodilians.
Okay.
Now, crocodilians are kind of off in their own little group.
Okay.
But dinosaurs are their own part, but birds are also in that because technically birds are descendants of dinosaurs.
Okay.
Well, no.
Of
to be
some
more accurate,
dinosaurs.
yes, but
Okay.
a bird is a dinosaur.
Okay.
Scientifically, a bird is a dinosaur.
Okay.
But they are classified. Birds are called avian dinosaurs, and dinosaurs, like the ones you think of, are called non-avian dinosaurs. So there is still a separation, but for the most part, birds are dinosaurs.
So they have everything else. If you were to go through the scientific process of, is it this, is it this, is it this, is it this, is this, they would all be equal except for the ability to fly effectively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though there's a couple, like right when you get to the point where like birds become dinosaurs, it gets a little weird, and that's what we're talking about today.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of that transitional point.
Yeah, that's
so that's why it's a what was it, a clade?
Well, yeah, because no, birds are in the dinosaur clade.
Okay.
And then the dinosaurs are with crocodilians and kind of like the whole group. Like I believe even Notosuchians in the archosaur clade.
Okay. So it's just a more loose association than the specific typical terms we're used to hearing, how things relate to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So today we're talking about what is oftenly called the oldest bird. This is the Archaeopteryx.
Okay.
So it lived in Germany from 150.8 to 148.5 million years ago. Okay. So this is like during like the late Jurassic. This is a pretty old species.
Okay.
Overall, let's see. I haven't thought about this creature in a while, so I need to look at it.
And so the Archaeopteryx. So is this called an avian?
I believe,
because could it fly or could it just glide?
Okay. See, so let's see, because that was like a thing. So at first, there's like a whole. I have to read this again. Yeah. Okay. It could fly.
Okay.
At first, we thought it could only glide, so that's where you're thinking of that idea from.
Okay.
But we did eventually figure out that it could fly.
Okay.
But not like most birds. More like a pheasant where it can like burst fly.
Okay.
It can't like just fly like a normal bird.
Okay. So it couldn't like migrate.
No.
Okay. It could just get from close spot to close spot.
Yes. But, and of course, so it wasn't just a glider. It actually
flew. Okay.
Yeah. But the thing was, we thought it was like a descendant of bird, but we now no longer believe it is.
Okay.
The current theory, because I mean, it's always a theory with biology and paleontology, is that this was kind of just a random offshoot that just kind of didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
But the basically like the raptors you're thinking of, like Velociraptor and Deinonychus, and then even the troodontids, which you think troodon, but that's not a real thing anymore. That's a whole thing for another day.
They changed their
those evolved into the birds.
Okay.
So this is just kind of maybe like a convergent dead end. So
last podcast when we talked about crowns and stems, this would kind of be a stem. It went off in a direction and just kind of petered.
Yes.
Okay.
So like if you go back enough, these would be in the same crown group. But this is its own stem off of that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I guess I've been pointing to this. This is a safari figure of Archaeopteryx. It's pretty good, but because it has feathers, we have found that if the fossil is well preserved enough to have feathers, usually it also preserves the melanosomes, I believe is the exact term. And with those, we can actually, at least to some extent, not exactly, guess the color, like find the color.
Okay.
So the actual Archaeopteryx is now believed to have been matte black.
Okay.
Yes, it's for this one, because I know that's a thing with Microraptor. Yes, so this one's technically not accurate because it would have been more black, and this is like whites and blues. And
this has some like blue.
Yeah, but yes, matte black is for this, I believe, as well for Microraptor. The really like is the one that I'm more sure that is definitely matte black. So.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
so they can find like. It wouldn't be chemicals, but physical structures within the feathers that can help identify colors.
Yeah, let me look it up real quick.
And the
organelle found in animal cells that's the site for synthesis, storage, and transportation of melanin, the most common light-absorbing pigment found in the animal kingdom.
Okay.
Basically, organelles are like the organs of cells.
Okay.
So, like, basically the thing that creates pigment.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So we can use so they can look at things today, see their color, and then help that. Okay, this had this back then, and
yes. Also, the reason that I'm not upset by this model is because this was made in 2015, and that melanoma thing's really recent. We're talking 2020.
Okay.
So like this is 5 years older than that discovery,
right?
And I mean now this is 50. This is like 8 years old as a model.
So it would be interesting to see if they've updated, because you said these guys are usually pretty accurate.
I don't know if Safari's made a new Archaeopteryx yet, but like PNSO has made like Microraptors.
Okay.
And those have been good.
And the Archaeopteryx is the one that they found the really good impression.
Yes.
In the
famous.
It's at the is that one at the Field Museum?
I think there's a replica at the field.
At the field, okay.
But there's a lot. Okay, so Archaeopteryx. So basically, like specifically in general, like Germany and China have a lot of these good fossils where they're like it was like a perfect like lake where they just fell to the bottom and were instantly covered in silt.
Okay.
And, like there was no bacteria down there or anything.
Okay.
Because I think maybe it was like a type of lake where like there was no oxygen, so like anything that fell in there like suffocated like really quickly.
Right.
And then they got completely covered, and then perfect impressions of like the feathers and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah. Yeah.
All right. And so this one didn't get although it looks like it's kind of a good representation of current birds, its specific line
just
died off.
Yeah.
Just kind of went away.
Yeah.
And these were we know they lived in trees or in
the
ground.
They climbed up trees and would like fly around. Well, yes, they would go up in trees and probably hunt things like bugs and small lizards.
Okay.
The same thing Compsognathus will have hunted.
Oh?
And it also lived with Compsognathus. They lived in the same time, I believe.
Okay. And they're both tiny.
Yes, because they're both from Archaeopteryx. Yeah, this was before I started putting the weights and everything, and it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Because I don't memorize that stuff on my own.
Yeah.
I just never did.
Yeah.
Right, Archaeopteryx. Also, one thing I just saw a post on Facebook like literally today that makes weights and stuff are never exact.
Well,
it's always
estimates.
Also, there's a lot of different subspecies of Archaeopteryx.
Okay.
Or actually, technically species because they're all in the same genus. That's different.
Okay.
And first of all, I mean, I have a picture here.
Yeah, we can show that. Yeah,
yeah, but they're like I think like the longest ones are like under like 33 centimeters or something.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you ready? So they're roughly the size of a raven. So we're talking like
Not Maleficent.
not too
An
not,
actual
yeah.
bird raven.
Yes. Okay. Yes, not a dog. So these guys don't even get to 2 feet long, and they get like 2.4 feet wingspans.
Oh, so only like.
Yeah. And then they can weigh 1.1 to 2.2 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, but being a precursor to full-fledged birds.
Well,
probably
like,
hollow.
not technically a precursor, but
Well, yeah, relative of offshoot.
Yeah.
But so did they have hollow bones?
yes, I believe they have hollow.
Okay. So they were kind of a shoot that started trying to be birds.
Yeah,
But some
they,
other
they
shoot
can't
became
fly because they lack the breastbone that allows birds to flap.
Okay, so that's why
In
they
the same way.
So
they can still flap, but it was different because they didn't have the breast.
so they couldn't fly even like pheasants
It was very like it was just like
or like a chicken maybe.
they flew like pheasants, but just not the same mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was talking about I lived with Compsognathus. That's because it's from the main species. The main species of the genus is from the Solnhofen limestones in Germany.
Okay.
So that's around like where's that near? It's in the state of Bavaria, halfway between Nuremberg and Munich.
The Nuremberg. Nuremberg.
Is this the one with the racetrack? I don't know.
That's how we know where things are, because they have what's that
Forza
game?
racetrack.
Forza racetracks. Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
how
they're
we
not
know
Forza
geography.
racetracks.
Yeah, the Forza has those racetracks.
Whatever. Yeah, it's in like southern Germany.
Okay,
I think is the best way to say it. Yeah.
all right. So it had a lot of the components that then became birds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Also, another good note: back then, Europe in the Jurassic was a bunch of islands.
Okay.
So it wasn't like in the middle of Europe. It was like it would live probably on like island chains or like maybe not like super small islands. They might have been bigger islands that you might even consider like maybe New Zealand size.
Right.
I'm not positive on like the exact geography.
So it lived at the time of and with Compsognathus.
Yeah.
So since Compsognathus was little, and it was little, but it was probably more fragile.
Yeah.
Did Compsognathus hunt it, or like what?
Well, Compsognathus couldn't go up the tree as well, or even, and definitely couldn't fly. So probably not. I mean, like, there's a possibility, like, if it had the chance to grab one, it might, but
it probably wasn't very meaty, so not worth a lot of.
Actually, there's an autistic thing here of an Archaeopteryx hunting a juvenile Compsognathus.
Oh, okay.
I definitely bet they would have. Yeah, that's a good point. They probably would have hunted like the juveniles of each other.
Yeah, because they were probably pretty fragile.
Yeah, so definitely they both would have hunted the young of the other one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
but like a something the size of a T-Rex wasn't gonna. This was like a toothpick.
No.
To a T-Rex. This was what it used after its meal to clean between its teeth.
But then even like the largest predators of the time, let's see. This is about the right. I'm just looking at Megalosaurus because it's kind of the same area, kind of the same time. Okay. Not exactly.
Right.
But like, I mean, those things, they weren't the largest. They got to like, okay, that's the old estimate. That thing was not 66 feet long, you idiots. Yeah, the problem was Megalosaurus was the first dinosaur ever discovered.
Yeah, so it's been through a lot of we think.
Technically a iguanodon first, and it was the first carnivore. I don't know. It gets a little complicated when you get that far back.
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell me how big it was?
I think of like stats at the top or something.
Usually they do.
By the way, we're using Wikipedia for this quick lookup stuff. Some of the better resources are the books that we have in our library. The academic. But the thing is that then you have to look at the date.
Yeah.
When the book
also
was written.
Wikipedia, the thing is, especially for like more biology stuff, the majority of the time the sources are literally these big science things.
Yeah, they're checked quite free. If somebody puts something out on Wikipedia about one of these things, that's completely off the wall, somebody's probably going to go.
And the
correct
references for a lot of these are like Britannica or the Smithsonian or the museum.
So we wouldn't normally say for most topics use Wikipedia as your source.
But the thing is,
but in this case, it's usually pretty well documented, and you can always go verify it against current research.
I've run into like one mistake on Wikipedia, and even then, it's not really a mistake. It's more just kind of like someone was overgeneralizing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, double check your sources, but to be honest, also, there is nowhere else to go look up just general information.
The most current unless you're going to go to like the university paper, papers that have been
which are so hard to
and
find
dig through and find. So we do have some good. I'll put up some of the resources, the books that James has gotten over the years, and who the researchers were that wrote those books. So that gives you an idea of where the research is coming from.
Yeah,
we're basing stuff off. But for quick lookups. Honestly, Wikipedia, on this topic, it kind of gets you in the general right direction. But don't do your research papers off of Wikipedia. Don't ever quote Wikipedia on a research paper. Just FYI.
But this isn't a research paper, and my teachers told me no, so now I'm going to do it despite them.
Right. Well, and this also makes a good point that when we say that this podcast is animal education, we're all kind of learning at the same time. I'm obviously learning because I know none of this. But you're learning. James is even learning things.
I've learned some things from, like, first of all, like the general stats or something.
Yeah.
But like, there are some things that I'll learn from this that will blow my mind too.
Yeah, and as research, goes on and continues, and we find more information or people make new discoveries, it's always going to change. So
this year, Dunkleosteus became shorter.
Right. Became Pinot-sized.
Yeah, there's been crazy. And they discovered a new species this year. I'm trying to think of what else has happened. Paleontology 2023. I wonder. I have to wait because there's some YouTubers I watch. I think it's run by Edge specifically.
Okay.
But overall, he does a collab with a bunch of YouTubers, and they will all do like an end of the year paleo rewind where each YouTuber will get a month.
Okay. Of the discoveries that
the major ones. Yeah.
Okay. So what's it called? Edge.
Yeah, it's like an abbreviation for something.
Paleo.
Damn.
Edge Paleontology Rewind.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go to,
they've done that the past few years, and they're always.
If you look up on YouTube, Edge Paleontology Rewind, you'll see there's Paleo Rewind 2022, Paleo Rewind 2021, 2020. That's actually a good resource. I'm going to subscribe to that. That's pretty cool.
And like,
it's called Edge Science is the channel.
Yeah.
Edge.
I watch them a lot.
Yeah.
They're
so
fun.
Edge Science, all to get at Edge Science.
Subspecies, that new species of that. Okay, that's
and they have multiple names. They have Edge Science, they have Edge of Reality 420, and they have Edge's World of Monsters, which sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, they kind of like me. They also will do like cryptids and stuff like that. Okay. They're not 100% just real animals.
Okay.
Because I personally often find that's a good way to talk about certain adaptations in like a new light.
Yeah.
And it like. Because that's how people tend to build their fictional creatures if they're trying to go for a more scientific approach.
Here's a good put. So Edge Science did one on the T-Rex skull evolution. Because there was all kinds of different. What did the T-Rex skull look like? What was it? How big was it? What did
T-Rex? I have not done a post on T-Rex yet. Because you could do like 5 posts on T-Rex.
You could do a whole channel on T-Rex.
Because it's the most famous and they do so many studies on it.
So misconceptions, and so T-Rex would be a good one for misconceptions.
I didn't do it for
It's gone through so many permutations.
Oh, no. When we're talking about permutations, we'll get to it later. I did Spinosaurus.
Oh, Lord.
Week.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think at one point, Spinosaurus was like a chihuahua.
Okay.
And then it's gone through a lot of permutations.
I brought one thing.
Right.
There's 2 exceptions. One was Megalodon, where I also used your tooth.
Oh, we have a from the Field Museum, one of Sue's teeth.
No, the Megalodon. No. We also have
we also have a megalodon.
For my Facebook post, there's been 2 exceptions where I've used more than one creature.
Okay.
For like a specific post.
Okay.
One was for the megalodon where I also used a tooth.
Okay.
The other is Spinosaurus where I used 5 figures.
Right.
And because
because they're all different.
Also because are we doing the whole week today?
Yeah, we'll check this one and then we'll do more. Yeah.
I brought all 5 of the Spino figures I used.
Okay, well we'll do Spino next.
No, that's not next.
Oh, that's not next. Okay.
We have first.
Keep tuning in. Eventually, we'll get to Spinosaurus. But Spinosaurus is hysterical. I swear, he went from like Chihuahua to like Great Dane. I mean, just in comparison of all the permutations, took him from one extreme to the other, and
back kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
It's like one of those comeback cans. Any of you old enough to remember the comeback cans with the rubber band in it?
Oh, but trust the next 2 posts are much worse because we're talking about Jurassic Park dinosaurs.
Oh Lord, yeah. Now Jurassic Park, we give Jurassic Park a little bit of leeway because of course they were going for Hollywood flair.
Yeah,
but
the next 2. So we just did Archaeopteryx, and the next 2 are crazy. Next 2 focus on Jurassic Park because I also missed a day, so I just combined them. So the next 2 will be like that. Yeah.
All right. So, well, I think that's that. I think we kind of covered that, and we kind of went off into kind of what this whole week is going to be like.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap this one up. And then
there's still 2 surprises in the week, though.
Oh, a lot of cool stuff coming up. So tune into the next one. So, all right.
Bye.
All right. So what I'm going to do real quick here is
camera out with me. Because it's just whatever.
Yeah.
I'll get used to it. Or not. I'll get used to it or not. That was deep.